welcome back to our podcast. Just a reminder, in case you forgot, I'm Bryce.
And I'm Current.
So last time we talked about what happened in Birmingham, Alabama, and the events that occurred there. But today we will be talking about Freedom Summer in 1964. So let's get started then, Current.
Sounds good.
So, Current, my first question is, what were the NCC and CORE?
Founded in 1942 by an interracial group of students in Chicago, the Congress of Racial Equality, CORE, pioneered the use of nonviolent direct action in America's civil rights struggle. Now, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC, was founded in April 1960 by young people who dedicated to nonviolent direct action tactics.
So then, what did they organize in the spring of 1964 in Oxford, Ohio?
The 1964 Freedom Summer Project was designed to draw the nation's attention to the violent oppression experienced by the Mississippi blacks who attempted to exercise their constitutional rights and develop grassroots freedom movement that could be sustained after student activists left Mississippi.
So, I heard about these men. Their names were James E. Chaney, Andrew Goodman, and Michael Schumer. Can you tell me a little about these people?
Of course, Bryce. James Earl Chaney was a civil rights activist and a martyr during the turbulent Freedom Summer of 1964. He was born in the Meridian on May 30th, 1943, and he became active in the civil rights movement during his teenage years. He participated in numerous civil rights organizations until his life was cut short at the age of 21. Andrew Goodman was an American civil rights activist. He was one of 3 Congress of Racial Inequality CORE workers murdered in Philadelphia, Mississippi by members of the Ku Klux Klan in 1964. Michael Schumer in early 1963, driven by a shared determination to directly contribute to the civil rights movement, the Schwarmers joined the Congress of Racial Equality, CORE. Mikey immediately began devoting 6 hours of the day to the organization community that relations and housing committees, in addition to contributing his full-time job at Hamilton Madison. In addition, the Schwarmers began to participate in the nonviolent direct action protest. Mikey was the first arrested as a part of the protest on July 4th, 1963, at a CORE-sponsored sit-in at a segregated amusement park in Gwynn Oaks, Maryland. Undeterred by the 2 days he spent in jail, the next week the Schwarmers joined pickets of Manhattan construction site to protest the segregation of the city's building and trade unions, along with 4 others. The couple who was arrested and charged with disturbing the peace.
So that's interesting. How long did it take to find them, Current?
The murders of Chaney, Goodman, and Schwarmer were also at the Freedom Summer murders, at the Mississippi Civil Rights Workers murders, or the Mississippi Burning murders, or the abductions and murders of these 3 activists in Philadelphia, Mississippi in June 1964.
So then whatever happened to Michael Schumer's wife? What happened to her?
Rita LeVent Schwarmer Bender was an American civil rights activist and lawyer. She and her husband, Michael Schumer, participated in the Freedom Summer of 1964, where Michael was murdered by the Ku Klux Klan. As his young widow, she drew national attention for her commentary on racial prejudice in the United States, delivered at a press conference after her husband went missing. Rita Schwarmer was still in Ohio when she learned the disappearance, and 2 days later at the Cincinnati airport with Franny Lou Harmer and getting ready to travel back to Mississippi. Schwarmer learned that the station wagon had been found burned in a swamp. Schwarmer returned to the Mississippi for safety, staying at a black-owned hotel, with a guard organized by black ministers keeping watch outside. Schwarmer spoke actively, pressing President Johnson to expand the federal government's efforts to find them. The national media covered the story in detail, and FBI posters went up for the 3 all over the country.
Well, thank you, Current, for talking to me about Freedom Summer.
Anytime, Bryce.
I thank everyone for sticking around with us during the podcast on Birmingham and Freedom Summer. We will see you next time.
Thank you.